forth. Marty's very open about stuff like that. He's willing to talk about it with Tom. So, if Tom's watching this now, call him. You've got his number, his email. I gave it to you. Marty's more than willing to talk about it.
And that type of outreach does not end there. My wife Judy, really a sweet old dame.
Wonderful woman.
Just a real caretaker she is. She had placed about 20 or 30 calls to Tom Brady, Zach, Bridget Moynihan, because you wonder in a situation like this, a tragedy of such epic proportions, who's watching out for the kid?
Sure.
Who's watching out for their kid? So Judy called, said, I'll come over, I'll watch him, I'll play with him. You tend to business. Somebody's got to look out for his kid.
Similarly, my wife, if Tom, Bridget, or Giselle are watching, she's willing to, cook a casserole, whatever needs to be done.
Good woman. She
makes a wonderful tuna casserole. Would be more than willing to make one. Also, my wife also took the day off today. She went into my son's school and talked to the principal about how to deal with the kids with this issue.
It's important.
Because many of them saw it, and it was a traumatic thing. And so I says to my wife, make sure that they have extra social workers there, that they have guidance counselors for the kids to see, to talk about the issues. Really, because you don't see that every day, and this was a real tragedy. And then also she was there to talk about maybe creating a curriculum unit around this. The kids for science class, they could follow the injury, follow the rehab, and really understand the ligaments and the tendons, all that stuff in the knee. And for writing class, they could write letters to Tom Brady, get well cards, cheer up cards to Bridget and Giselle and the kid.
It'd be therapeutic for them too.
Very therapeutic. It's important after a tragedy to really you have to deal with it.
Of course, and I don't know if I told you this, but earlier I went down to my two kids' schools. One's in elementary, one's in middle school. And I went to the principals. I went down there and I said, a tragedy's happened right after the announcement. And I said, let's memorialize this. So I suggested...
Lest we forget.
Lest we forget. Of course, you can't forget this. So I said, let's scrape the names you got for the schools and let's name it Thomas Brady Middle School, Thomas Brady Elementary School. Because we should never forget an icon like that to the kids.
What are the names of the schools?
Lincoln and Washington, but, times have passed.
What have you done for me lately?
Exactly. This is an icon to the kids now. Let's move on.
And similarly, this afternoon, I made a number of phone calls to the Obama and McCain campaigns. Asking them, what are they going to do about it?
What are they going to do about it? Enough about the economy. What are they going to do about this? This is important to us.
I didn't get any responses, but I imagine they'll be discussing the issue in the upcoming week. We'll see.
Lord willing.
And I also asked, maybe they could just stop campaigning for 24 hours. This is what we're asking for. Just 24 hours, stop with the Democrats and the Republicans. Put all divisions aside. I don't care if you're Yankees, Red Sox, Giants, Democrat, Republican, Independent, whatever. Put it aside. Let us mourn. Let us deal with this issue.
It's important to mourn and to heal. And speaking of a crucial aspect of that process is to move on. So I tried to make amends today, and I placed about 20-25 calls to EI with some thoughts about how they can move on. And I've been subsequently blocked, so I went to the payphone down the street. But I think we're going to iron that out. And left some messages. And really my idea was, look in your own backyard. Trot Nixon, no longer with the Sox, but strongly affiliated, highly touted recruited football prospect from high school.
Great arm.
Got a great arm, very physical player. Try him out, see what he can do. Similarly, somebody on the decline of his career, Tech. Can't swing anymore, but he's pegging him out at second, like none other. Give him 3 to 4 weeks to develop. Look in your own backyard. Maybe they can work out as well.
Papelbon's got a hell of an arm too. Maybe he could be a two-sport athlete.
I think Bo Jackson when I think of him. Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
Well, we want to thank you for joining us. Want to remind you to get involved in your community. Do something. Channel your anger and frustration and this tragedy into something productive, and we can move forward
You know,
together.
Speaking of, Mike, we had come up with this idea earlier about a fundraiser to help the kids dealing with a torn ACL, and we were going to do a charity walk to raise money, have somebody sponsor you by the mile, and we were going to do a lap around the parking lot around Patriots Place, the new shopping center and multiplex. Originally we were going to do 12 laps, but you know, the knees, Mazzano's coming back, his knee's not good.
Bobby McFadden's coming, he just had hip replacement.
It's tough on the knees, so we're going to do one lap. It'll start about 9 o'clock, and the finish time for everybody should be about 9:07. So it should not be that long, but we'll raise money, and it'll give back and to help everybody cope.
Just enough time.
Just enough time. So we'd like to thank you.
Thanks for tuning in.